Hi, hello, namaste, adab. How are you all? Welcome back. During 1913s in USA, parents used to mail their kids to grandmother's house. In early days, when US parcel service started, there weren't clear guidelines about what you could and couldn't mail. Regulations about what you could and couldn't send through the mail were vague. When post office began accepting parcels over 4 pounds in 1913, people immediately started testing its limits by mailing dogs, eggs, bricks, etc. and other unusual packages. But does they allow to mail their children? Technically, there were no postal regulations on it. But when it was recorded in January 1913, Mr. and Mrs. Jesse Big from Ohio took advantage of the postal services to make a very special delivery. That is, their infant son. They paid 15 cents for stamps and an unknown amount to insure him for $50 and handed him over to the mailman, who dropped the boy off at his grandmother's house about a mile away. Records do not indicate whether grandmother Beg received her mail in a mailbox or through a letter slot. First unaccompanied child was put on a plane to grandma's house in the care of a flight attendant. A few resourceful parents accomplished the same end by simply dropping their kids in the mail. According to Nancy Pope, head curator of history at National Postal Museum, you had different towns getting away with different things depending on how their postmaster read regulations. And also, Nancy found that some families are mailing their children between 1913 to 1915, beginning with baby from Ohio. It wasn't common to mail your children for long distances. It would have been cheaper to stamp and to send a kid by railway mail than to buy her a ticket on a passenger train. And in addition to that, people who mail their children weren't handing them over to a stranger, as in rural areas, they know their postman very well. According to reports, the pictures that are circulating in social media that a mailman carrying babies in a mail bag were taken as a joke. Nancy Pope said Edna Neff of Penn School of Law was 6 when she was packed off or packaged off to her father's home in Christiansburg via 720 miles away. These baby parcels are not wrapped, but more like walked along or like companions in arms of their carriers. Most famous male child is May Pierstroff was indeed sent by an Idaho railway mail car in 1914 with appropriate stamps stuck to her traveling coat and her adventure made into a children's book, Mailing May. And there is no physical evidence of her trip. In 1914 itself, Postmaster General instituted a rule that no humans are included in mail deliveries. A fun fact on this: a thief named William DeLucia packed himself with food and oxygen tank in a package and labeled as musical instruments, and he claimed it worth thousands of dollars and sealed himself. Later, he was arrested in 1980 at Atlanta Airport after his trunk was opened as it was being unloaded. Even today, his oxygen tank is at Postal Museum.